from downtown Brew City. Art, our big rivals, the Kansas City Comets, roll into town. Second of 4 meetings between the teams this year. Milwaukee coming away with a hard-fought 7-4 victory down at the Independence Event Center 3 weeks ago. Amazingly enough, that's the last time that either of these two teams have played, so I guess you could say they're coming in an equal basis as far as rest is concerned. Wave off to a 4-0 start. Comets are 1-1. Both teams expected to be probably battling it out for the division title this year in the MASL Central Division. What's your outlook on tonight's game?
Well, for Kim Runtved, the new coach of the Kansas City Comets, he was happy to get 3 weeks of training. He didn't have a lot of his players in. And so that 3 weeks of training for them is he's think it's going to be big. We'll see tonight. For Giuliano Oliviero and the Milwaukee Wave, off to a great start. Veteran crew, really playing well. As far as depth, I don't think there's any team in the league that has as much depth as the Wave. They've got the veteran leadership. They've got a ton of goal scorers, and they're really the favorite every time they go out to play. So the onus is going to be on Kansas City tonight to come out and improve their game.
You know, when you talk about this rivalry, Art, these teams have met in the last 7 consecutive postseasons. Kansas City winning 4, the Wave winning 3. Certainly would not be surprised if it turned out again that way this year. But what is it about this rivalry that really over the years has really brought it to a pretty intense level?
Well, I think the amount of times that the two teams play obviously is a big factor. But, you know, 2 really good veteran teams over the years. And, you know, the one thing about Kansas City now is they've lost a number of their veteran players. They don't have their general, Vahid Asadpour, not back. Max Talut is not there. Ramon Palmer, Robert Palmer, Elaine Mattingu. I mean, so there's 5 or 6 guys, Johnny Sosa, that are not with that team this year. And so it's going to take Kim Runtved a while to get this team gelling. But as far as the rivalry, there are enough familiar faces there that to understand the battle that goes into this, the grind that goes into this one, and I'm expecting another grind tonight for both teams. Should be an excellent game tonight. Goalkeeping matchup tonight. Josh Lemos, of course, has played tremendously for the Wave. This is his second full season with Milwaukee. And on the other side, you've got Casey Grasson, rookie indoor keeper, at least at the MASL level. Has shown well the first couple games, played fairly well against Milwaukee the first time out, but again, he's a rookie, and I'm sure he's going to have some challenging nights in this league. Well, if you're going to put a check mark in favor of one of the two teams, it's going to be the Milwaukee Wave and Josh Lemos. Lemos is just, the thing that makes him so dynamic in the goal is his ability to play with his feet. He really is the quarterback of this offense. They play through him, does not make many mistakes in the attack, and very confident with the ball. And the young guy on the other side's got his work cut out. First time coming into Milwaukee, hostile environment, tough place to play, so we'll see how he handles it tonight. One of the iconic venues of North American Professional Indoor Soccer, the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. It's the Wave against the Kansas City Comets, and we're coming right back. This is Wave Soccer.
Art Kramer, how about a nice round of applause for them? They also won an award last year, the best broadcast in the Major Arena Soccer League. Of course, you can watch all of our games at MASL TV and on YouTube, but a nice round of applause for Tom Wynn and Art Kramer, the voice of your Milwaukee Wave and the Best Broadcast Award. Now, first ball ceremony. I need Manny Guerrero, Haley Shamrock, and birthday boy Zach Piplinski. Come on over. All right, here we go.
And so we are just about set to go with tonight's contest between the Milwaukee Wave and the Kansas City Comets. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer as these two longtime MASL rivals get ready to do battle for the second time of what will be 4 regular season meetings this year. And if history holds its course, Art, possibly for the 8th consecutive postseason, we might see these teams matched up.
Well, if the pass is any indication of what we're going to see tonight, this is going to go down to the final seconds. It always does, Tom, with these two teams. I want to give a special shout out to Comet Nation watching the game at Coach's Pub and Grill in Kansas City. I think the bartender should get those people some free drinks over there every time the Wave scores. How about that?
Well, if he doesn't give away a lot of free drinks on that condition, it should be a pretty good night then for the Comets, you would think.
Great city, Kansas City. I started my career there back in 1981. Played in the first game the Kansas City Comets ever played, Tom. 15,000 plus at Kemper Arena, exhibition game against the Memphis Americans. And they had the late, great Stan Stamenkovich played his first MISL game in Kemper Arena. I was fortunate enough to be a part of that game.
That was definitely one for the record books. One for the books.
And a preseason game, Tom, with 15,000 people in Kemper Arena. They had a big promotion. The Comets are coming. Billboards all over the city. I wonder how many of those people at Coach's bar right now remember that game or were at that game back in 1981.
That would be interesting to know. That would be a very select group for sure. We are underway. Comets going right to left in the white uniforms as the Wave tries to work it out of its defensive end. That's Guilherme Veiga. He's starting on the back line tonight along with Stuart Grable. Wave with the dynamic duo of Ian Bennett and Max Ferdinand, complemented by Daniel Matos on the front line. There's the goalkeeper for Kansas City, Casey Gasson. He is a rookie goalkeeper, as we talked about on the pregame show, and being backed up by another rookie keeper named Stephen Hammersley. This is the fourth new starting keeper Gasson is in 4 years for the Comets, as saw Veiga get dumped that time. And the Wave will get the first free kick of the night.
See the Wisconsin Vision instant replay here as Veiga gets taken down by Pino. Kyle Trimble and Jamie Walter, the referees tonight, on the floor.
Two excellent officials. And I would imagine they're going to have some challenging work at times tonight. These are two very intense rivals.
Well, the good thing about Kyle and Jamie is they understand the rivalry. They've seen enough of these games throughout the year, so not going to be any surprises as to the pace and intensity of this matchup.
Marcio Liete with it for the Wave. Brian Perez got called for the foul there, as you see on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. Andre Haines, the big guy from Milwaukee, trying to post up top of the area, and Andre's going to get called for a foul as Nacho Flores took it away, and then Haines crunched him against the boards.
You can see Trimble and Walter, the two referees, calling it tight early. That's already the third foul here in the first minute and a half.
Gasson getting some pressure as they move it up near side. Stefan Stokic, the veteran defender, had it bounce past him, but Comets retain control. Expect the Wave to try to pressure the rookie Gasson tonight. He did play well against Milwaukee in their meeting in Independence 3 weeks ago. Takeaway, Jonathan Santos. Santos coming in, hammers a shot. And save made by Gasson. And he'll start the break back the other way. Leo Gibson looking to the middle. It's a 3-on-1 for Kansas City. Stokic lays it off, and the shot off the mark. Milwaukee will clear. Not exactly executed the way I think Comets were hoping on that 3-on-1.
Yeah, both teams with an odd man rush there in the last 30 seconds due to a poor line change that time by the Wave. They lost possession, then 4 guys ran to the bench.
Dane Sinclair wearing number 12. One of the defenders right now for the Comets. To the near board, Leite able to clear back upfield. Sinclair gets it back. Number 21, by the way, is the former Marquette star now playing for the Kansas City Comets, Patrick Kelly. Spent the last 2 years with Cedar Rapids. Ball was centered across the goal mouth, popped right out, and a great look that time for Sinclair, and he puts it up into the stands.
There you see Dane Sinclair, former St. Louis Steamer, St. Louis Ambush player.
MASL Rookie of the Year back in 13-14, if I recall accurately. Second year now with the Comets after 2 in St. Louis. He was primarily a forward with the Ambush, but we see he's been playing on the back line so far this year for the Comets, as they are still trying to get the ball back from the stands.
It's funny how some of these guys move around positionally. We saw Leo Gibson early in his career start out as a defender and then became one of the outstanding forwards in indoor soccer. Sometimes you just got to try things as a coach to see if you catch a little lightning in the bottle.
Milwaukee moves it up. Dennison trying to see if he could play it up ahead to Ferdinand. Pass intercept by the Comets. Back they come. And a nice little tip as they try to work it into the zone. Hunyak digs it out for the Comets. Got around the defender, centered across, broken up by Vega. Lemos now has to slide out to get it back over to Vega in the corner. Milwaukee finally clearing the zone, nudged ahead. Comets will get it back. And Pina is put down by Grable, and Stewart will pick up his first personal foul. In the MASL, you get 3 personal fouls in each half. On your fourth, you give a 2-minute power play as we take a look at the Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
Good call that time by Trimble, as Grable definitely got a piece at Comet forward that time.
Back comes the Wave. Dennison at midfield. Haines, the Dutch native, in his 3rd season with Milwaukee, and loses it there. Now he's going to get called for the foul, as Trombini had dispossessed him that time.
Kansas City doing very well the first 4 minutes in really taking the Wave out of any type of attack.
Dennison able to step in front of Stokic and take that away. Now Haines and Dennison will bring it up. Slid across to Ferdinand, but Max is going to go off for a change. Now has to stay on as the Wave still didn't have full control of possession. Leite looks over for Vega. Now in his 3rd year with the Milwaukee Wave, Guilherme Vega, originally with the Chicago Mustangs in this league. Marcio, number 77, lays it off for Jonathan Santos. Santos returning to the Wave this year, where he started his career from 2007 through 2012.
Santos getting into it that time with Tanner Hunyak. Hunyak, the son of the former great Goran Hunyak, who used to play for the Kansas City Comets.
We'll keep an eye on that matchup.
The foul, Kansas City Comets foul number 5, Tanner Hunyak.
And it was Hunyak's first personal foul. His father, Goran, was called Scoring Goran, and there's good reason, because he could really light up the goal. Matos with a follow-up shot that's cleared away in front of the keeper. Renault keeps it alive. Robert coming in, centering in the play. And a great defensive play at the doorstep. I think that was Stokic who knocked it down.
It was Stefan Stokic, number 20 at the back post, who snuffed out that attack.
Got an injured player now for the Comets as play is suspended at 9:35 in the first period. Take a look once again at our Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
And it was Stokic that time at the back post. At good position that time on Andre Haines. And Stokic is one of those guys, Tom, does a lot of the little things. He does the dirty work, doesn't get a lot of recognition, but is just an unsung hero on this Comet team.
Lukas Rodriguez shaking up on the play. See a little blood on his right sleeve there, so I think that might have been the result of the contact. He did get fouled on the play. Lukas, one of the original members of the Kansas City Comets, the revived Comets, if you will, who came in as the Missouri Comets in 2010-11.
I didn't see him back in 1981, Tom. Although what I like about the Comets is these jerseys that they're wearing, the uniforms are very, very similar to what we wore back in the early 80s.
Yeah, great design. Great to see that they brought these back. Here's Bennett. Ian, the Waves' leading scorer with 11 points.
Unfortunately, my small number 16 jersey that I used to wear for the Comets doesn't fit as well as it did in those days.
Hunyak coming in.
Wondering if Gino Giraldi's fits as well.
Now, there's one I don't think would fit quite as well.
And Enzo DePede, Clive Griffiths.
I guess I shouldn't speak so quickly about Gino. We haven't seen him in a number of years, but based on what we saw about 10
Come on,
years ago.
the guy owns a pizza shop. I don't think Gino's going to be fitting.
We are still looking for our first goal, almost midway through the first period. Now Haines centering for Renault with Ferdinand cutting through, and Kansas City able to break it up. Lemos at midfield. Josh, of course, confident ball handler with his feet. He's not afraid to come out to midfield and beyond handling. Ferdinand top of the area. Nice little cutback by Max. Still trying to get it on the left foot, and the shot save made by Gasson. And now they misplay it, and Ferdinand shoots and scores! Well, Gasson made a nice save initially, but he misplayed it after that. And the ball came right to Ferdinand, and he put it away. Milwaukee leads 1-0.
You're right, Tom. A little miscommunication here between Gasson and his defender. And the ball pops right to Ferdinand. And Ivanovic back on the goal line wasn't able to keep that one out.
And Renault's going to get the assist because he had the touch that away. So Milwaukee draws first blood tonight at 7:03 of the first period.
That's the third goal this season out of the first 5 games that Robert Renault has been part of the scoring to get the Wave started. You look at Robert Renault, Tom, and he doesn't really pass the eye test. You look at him and think, man, is this guy, he's an indoor soccer player, but he is lightning fast. He's kind of our version of Don Beebe. Remember White Lightning? Don Beebe used to play for the Buffalo Bills. Later, Beebe type speed. But he has been just a catalyst early in the games for the Wave here to start the season.
We talked a little bit before, Art, a certainly different style, but a little bit, you talk about his deceptive speed, Greg Howe's-like. Greg was another guy, when you looked at him speed-wise, didn't think he really would have a heck of a lot of speed, but he was really above average speed and not to mention excellent quickness. And Robert, I think, combines a lot of those assets as well in his game.
You see Renault, number 9, here at the bottom right-hand side of your screen, but Tom, his quickness is off the charts. He is just lightning fast, and his technical ability with the ball, outstanding, and he's really proven to be a great decision maker as well. His decisions are spot on. What a find by Giuliano Oliviero and Dan Kinsey, the general manager, to bring in Robert Renault, a member of the Canadian futsal national team.
Robert in his second year with the Wave, following a 17-goal, 11-assist campaign last year and his rookie season. And Max Ferdinand gets his 3rd goal of the season. Max now with 11 points this year, 3 goals, 8 assists. Max is tied for the league lead in assists with Carlos Chile Farias, who's had quite a renaissance.
And that's a free drink for those people at Coach's Kansas City, right? Come on, bartender, get him some drinks.
Art will be forwarding you his PayPal info a little bit later if you need reimbursement. Gasson getting some pressure there, just got rid of it. Now Matos steps up for the Wave. Daniel Matos lays it up. Bennett turning shot, and a nice block there as Ian gets it back. Top of the area, still trying to go. Bennett coming in, shot, save made by Gasson. And so Casey Gasson getting tested in the last couple of minutes here.
Good save that time by Gasson to come out and cut down the space for Bennett to shoot. And then once again, though, on the rebound, he got a little bit crossed up with his defender again.
Drive, wide left, Trombini tried to follow up. Nice play there. I think it was Tenzin Ram. I got a foot on it. Now Jonathan Santos overlapping, coming in with a shot, and a save made by Gasson. So the Wave really starting to apply the offensive pressure here in the last couple of minutes. The goal by Ferdinand is 3rd of the year at 7:03 with the assist from Renault. Put Milwaukee on top, and they're looking for more as we get ready for the corner kick. And it comes, Matos with a shot blocked out high. I think Flores might have got a piece of that. Ferdinand trying to knock it down, and the Official on the far side got in the way as Ferdinand brings it back. Bennett as they come 3-on-3. Trying to slide it across far post. He was looking for a late tape, but pass was broken up. Now Bennett digs it out. Ferdinand. He'll lay it back for Renault, and Milwaukee will recycle out of midfield.
Kansas City was going to have a 3-on-2. That ball hit referee Kyle Trimble and turned into a 3-on-2 for the Wave.
This is one of 4 games tonight in the MASL. Make that 5. We'll bring you the other scores as we get them. Right now in Florida, the Tropics leading the Syracuse Silver Knights 2-1. And in Harrisburg, the Heat leading the St. Louis Ambush 2-0. The Ambush 0-3 this year, and they have now suffered an 18-game losing streak in the last couple of years.
They just can't get over the hump there in St. Louis. I saw them play Harrisburg in St. Louis. Everton's got them a lot more organized than they've ever been. But at the end of the day, you got to win games, and that team just struggling to get any results.
Well, that was a real heartbreaker against the Heat. Heat scored a 6th attacker goal, 5 seconds left in the contest to tie it up and put it in overtime, and then Harrisburg able to finish it out after that. Grable trying to knock that one across the middle. Comets come out with it, but Ricardinho there for the Wave to get it back for Lemos. Milwaukee starts it up as Angel Curiel gets it over to Ricardo. Marcio tried to toe poke one past Gasson, and a nice save there. Casey Gasson racking up the saves now here in the first period. Andre Haines in tight quarters, Grable, Ricardinho, and a little bit too much contact from behind from Leo Gibson will give Milwaukee a free kick as you take a look at the Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
Gibson over to referee Kyle Trimble. He's saying, come on, man, let us play a little bit. Let the boys play.
From the line, Ricardinho off to Haines, fires one in. That one is blocked by Sinclair. Not only is Gasson racking up the saves in the first period, but the Comets probably another half dozen blocks to add to that as well. Lemos' pass upfield is sent back the other way. Now Josh scrambling to get it near side. Foul is going to be called
and
on Pat Kelly, and Kelly was tied up with the defender that time.
Yeah, I think Lemos actually tripped over defender Tenzin Rampa, and that's what Kelly is trying to tell Jamie Walter.
Patrick, the former Marquette Golden Eagle, not very happy on that call. That was a nice pickup for Kansas City in the offseason. Pat is a Kansas City area native originally. Now, pass broken up. Kelly trying to lay it off on the near wing. Curiel broke it up initially, and now a follow-up shot, and Lemos has to save it. Curiel to Dennison. Behind the play, though, we get a foul call that's going to go against the Comets. That's Brian Perez getting called for the foul. One more time on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
Kansas City doing a pretty good job of pressuring the Wave in the attacking half of the field, creating some turnovers.
4 minutes to go, first period. Wave leads at 1-0. Max Ferdinand's third of the year from Robert Renault, who picked up his 6th assist, is the only score in the game. Vega on the far side. He is dumped by Sinclair.
And then a delay of game warning against Sinclair for kicking the ball away. You see what Dane Sinclair thinks about all these early whistles.
Dane gets his second personal.
Sorry, Tom. I think Walter and Trimble have set the tone by calling it tight, but got to let the game flow a little bit.
Dennison trying to redirect in front. Gasson comes up with it. Long for Hunyak, and he draws the foul for Max Ferdinand. Yeah, I would agree, Art. I do think they're calling it tight, but again, they've seen these two teams before. It can get kind of intense.
Like the Duke-Florida NCAA basketball game the other night, Tom. Every time they went to the basket in the last 7 minutes, we got a whistle.
Comets on the restart. They go right to left here in the first period. Kansas City opened the season with an 8-6 win at home against St. Louis. And then dropped game number 2, which was a 7-4 setback to the Wave, also at the Independence Event Center. Milwaukee opened its season with a 6-5 overtime win in Tacoma. Came back here to defeat Cedar Rapids 11-7 in the home opener. That was the night, of course, we unfurled the banner for legendary coach Keith Tozer. And then Wave going on the road to both St. Louis and Kansas City with a couple of back-to-back victories, 9-2 in St. Louis and the aforementioned 7-4 triumph at KC back on November 11th and 12th. Gibson attempting to bicycle across, but Milwaukee will knock it out of play. Crowd still arriving here. Friday night game, traffic is not always the best. Still got some people trickling in here as we come down the stretch here in the first quarter.
Take another look at some of the work of Leo Gibson. And that's where he likes to go, down to the goalkeeper's right in that corner. He sets up shop down there in his office.
He's made a few bikes in his career.
Tenzin Rampa, number 2, and Vega, number 6, will have the duties of trying to mark him out of the game tonight.
That is usually a tough process. Now 3-2 for the Wave. Haines lays it off to your side. Bennett shot to goal! Beautiful look there from Andre Haines to Ian Bennett. Milwaukee leads it 2-0.
Good ball that time by Haines to find Bennett all alone at the far post. Gasson took a little bit of a high line that time, giving away too much of the goal, but you see number 17, Trombini, bit out too high and allowed a clear passing lane in behind to Bennett. Trombini needed to back up a couple steps to take away that clear passing lane from Haines to Bennett. That's what we talked about, Tom. A lot of new players for Kim Runtved and the Kansas City Comets. It's going to take a while for guys like Trombini to get acclimated to the indoor game.
Nice conversion for the Wave. Bennett with his 11th of the year, which puts him back in a first place tie for the goal scoring leadership. And 12 points puts him now second place on the MASL scoring list. 11 goals, 1 assist for Ian. Andre Haines gets his second assist and 4th point of the year. 2-0 Milwaukee with less than 2 to go in the first period.
Trombini had the right idea in trying to take away the pass, but he just stepped out too high and he allowed that pass to go in behind him. You want to keep that pass in front of you.
And now Ferdinand and Bennett trying to come back 2-on-1. Here's Max, top of the area, pokes one through, shot and a goal. Oh, clinically done by Max Ferdinand, and Milwaukee leads it 3-0. And Art, in the Major Arena Soccer League, the specter of Ferdinand and Bennett coming in a 2-on-1 is a nightmare for any defender and goaltender.
Take a look. Max uses his teammate, I believe that was Pereira actually at the far post, but he used Pereira as a decoy, and then Gasson had really no chance on that toe poke by Max. And if you're Kim Runtved, you got to be thinking about taking an early timeout here with the Wave 3 goals up here.
So Max already with a couple of goals tonight. He has doubled his season total now to 4. And I believe that was Marcio Ete on the assist. We'll have to get confirmation on that.
This team right now, Tom, playing with a lot of confidence. So many guys that can hurt you offensively, including Max Ferdinand.
Except okay, we'll try to still trying to get confirmation on who had the assist there, but anyway, 3-0 for the Wave. Great start for Coach Giuliano Oliviero and company. And the Comets will have to see if they can dig themselves out from a 3-goal deficit. Santos almost had that come up off his elbow, but was able to avoid that as Lemos sends it downfield. Gasson with less than 30 seconds to go. Ball stays in play. Vega heads it out. Sinclair able to beat Ian Bennett to it. Santos with a flying header to clear the zone. Now Ricardinho working in the corner as Leo Gibson almost had it. Here comes Ian Bennett with 3 seconds to go in the period. Fed it ahead to Renault, but he's going to run out of time. Nonetheless, a great first period for the Milwaukee Wave as they jump out to a 3-0 lead. Stay with us, fans. We'll be coming back for more. Milwaukee 3, Kansas City nothing. This is Wave Soccer.
Let's go to...
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
Well, every August, we have our customer appreciation party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
Everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
From downtown Brew City, our big rivals, the Kansas City Comets, roll into town. Second of 4 meetings between the teams this year. Milwaukee coming away with a hard-fought 7-4 victory down at the Independence Event Center 3 weeks ago. Amazingly enough, that's the last time that either of these two teams have played, so I guess you could say they're coming in an equal basis as far as rest is concerned. Wave off to a 4-0 start. Comets are 1-1. Both teams expected to be probably battling it out for the division title this year in the MASL Central Division. What's your outlook on tonight's game?
Well, for Kim Runtved, the new coach of the Kansas City Comets, he was happy to get 3 weeks of training. He didn't have a lot of his players in. And so that 3 weeks of training for them he's think it's going to be big. We'll see tonight. For Giuliano Oliviero and the Milwaukee Wave, off to a great start. Veteran crew, really playing well. As far as depth, I don't think there's any team in the league that has as much depth as the Wave. They've got the veteran leadership. They've got a ton of goal scorers, and they're really the favorite every time they go out to play. So the onus is going to be on Kansas City tonight to come out and improve their game.
You know, when you talk about this rivalry, Art, these teams have met in the last 7 consecutive postseasons. Kansas City winning 4, the Wave winning 3. Certainly would not be surprised if it turned out again that way this year. But what is it about this rivalry that really over the years has really brought it to a pretty intense level?
Well, I think the amount of times that the two teams play obviously is a big factor. But, two really good veteran teams over the years. And, the one thing about Kansas City now is they've lost a number of their veteran players. They don't have their general, Vahid Asadpour, not back. Max Talut is not there. Ramon Palmer, Robert Palmer, Elaine Mattingu. So there's 5 or 6 guys, Johnny Sosa, that are not with that team this year. And so it's going to take Kim Runtved a while to get this team gelling. But as far as the rivalry, there are enough familiar faces there that to understand the battle that goes into this, the grind that goes into this one, and I'm expecting another grind tonight for both teams.
Should be an excellent game tonight. Goalkeeping matchup tonight. Josh Lemos, of course, has played tremendously for the Wave. This is his second full season with Milwaukee. And on the other side, you've got Casey Grasson, rookie indoor keeper, at least at the MASL level. Has shown well the first couple of games, played fairly well against Milwaukee the first time out, but again, he's a rookie, and I'm sure he's going to have some challenging nights in this league.
Well, if you're going to put a check mark in favor of one of the two teams, it's going to be the Milwaukee Wave and Josh Lemos. Lemos is just, the thing that makes him so dynamic in the goal is his ability to play with his feet. He really is the quarterback of this offense. They play through him, does not make many mistakes in the attack, and very confident with the ball. And the young guy on the other side's got his work cut out. First time coming into Milwaukee, hostile environment, tough place to play, so we'll see how he handles it tonight.
One of the iconic venues of North American Professional Indoor Soccer, the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena. It's the Wave against the Kansas City Comets, and we're coming right back. This is Wave Soccer.
Art Kramer, how about a nice round of applause for them? They also won an award last year, the best broadcast in the Major Arena Soccer League. Of course, you can watch all of our games at MASL TV and on YouTube, but a nice round of applause for Tom.
Stop.
Kelly was like a smooth criminal there, picking off that pass from Santos.
Here's Robert Renault trying to move it up. So again, the Wave able to hold off the Comets for now. KC still keeping the pressure on. Matos able to just nudge it to the middle as Santos cleared it downfield. Now Ferdinand able to come up with it as he holds off Nacho Flores. So what a move there by Max. Here's Max trying to come down the wing. Bid for the hat trick. Turned aside, Santos follow. That one is cleared out. Jonathan gets it back. Now Ricardinho. He's 2 on 4. He'll take a shot just wide. Ferdinand. Looked like he was going to try and get a follow-up shot. Instead, trying to hold on to it. Comets come away with it.
Great run that time by Ferdinand. He had Curiel open at the far post, but he never saw him. And right now, it's Ferdinand and Curiel are talking about it. Max is acknowledging that he just didn't see him.
Injured player for the Comets is Alvaro Beltran. As you can see the Comets trainer helping him off the side. Looks like left arm, left elbow, something there. Beltran, a rookie defender. Don't believe he's related to Carlos Beltran.
No.
Take a look at the Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay one more time. You saw that Beltran was sliding out to try to challenge Ferdinand on that play. It must have caught his, again, it appeared to be his left elbow. Back to the live action.
Yeah.
As
you said, Tom, no relation to the ageless Carlos Beltran.
I think he's finally going to call it a career after the World Series. Now at midfield, Ian Bennett, he's 2-1 with Curiel. Ian coming in. Shot just wide.
Curiel's got to be saying, what do I got to do to get a pass over to this far post, guys?
Well, as we've said many times before, Ian is definitely a shoot-first forward, although he did set a career high for assists with 11 last year. And Curiel, whose nickname is Chino, got called for the foul there.
Take a look at the Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay again, and you see Chino that time just get a piece of Williams.
Kyle Williams, who spells his name K-I-E-L. For some of you St. Louis fans, you're saying, what do you mean? That's Kiel.
Yeah, Kiel Auditorium.
Right.
That's how they spelled it there.
Don't forget, Wave will be right back here at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena a week from tomorrow, Saturday, December 9th, for a 6 o'clock game, as they will be battling the Tacoma Stars, making their first appearance here in Milwaukee.
Former Comet goalkeeper Danny Waltman.
He will be in the nets, most likely for Tacoma. Renault! Shot knocked down. Dennison back for Renault with the keeper out. Shot and a goal. Boy, great composure by both Dennison and Renault to finish that one off after the keeper, Gasson, was out of position. 4-0 Milwaukee as Renault gets his first of the night.
And that's the third time tonight we've seen Gasson too far off his line. It's one thing to come out and make the initial save, but then you got to move your feet and get back and guard your goal line. That's the third time we've seen Kansas City defenders in behind Gasson trying to bail him out. Ideally, you'd like the defenders to be trying to block the shots in front of the goalkeeper.
Robert with his 7th goal of the year. He picked up his 6th assist earlier in the contest, so he is now tied with Ian Bennett and Craig Giles of San Diego on top the MASL scoring lists, all with 13 points. Dennison picked up the assist, and again, just excellent composure by those two guys to finish it off with the keeper out of position. Still a long way to go in this contest. So I don't think the Kansas City fans should lose heart just yet. Santos over the top as Vega comes in, trying to nudge it across. Andre Haines, turning shot, and what a save there. Good reaction by Gasson as he almost got decapitated by Andre Haines.
Don't know if Gasson even got his hands up in time. I think he stopped that one, and he's down back behind the play, Tom.
Whoa.
Kyle Trimble seeing it. Gasson down on the goal line, laying on his stomach. Let's hope the young man's okay here.
Sure hope so. Boy, Andre
he
really
took that shot flush to the face.
He really got all of that one on a turning sidewinder.
It's not a 2-minute blue card. It's a 5-minute.
Let's take a look one more time on our
For number 14, Leo Gibson.
Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
It looked like he might have gotten his hands up there.
A little bit, but still took quite a shot there.
As Mark Jackson likes to say on the NBA broadcast, Tom, hands down, man down. Get those hands up.
Meanwhile, Leo Gibson is going to go to the box for Kansas City at 5:25 of the first period. Second period, excuse me.
I think it's a 5-minute descent penalty, Tom. It's not going to have to play short. Gibson voicing his displeasure right now to Jamie Walter there. You know Leo, Tom, I mean, he's an emotional guy. Heck of a nice guy off the field, but when he gets on in between the lines, he plays with a lot of emotion. Let's see what he's upset about here. Right there, he felt like he got a little bit of the right arm or left arm of Lemos. I didn't see a whole lot there.
Some of the Wave fans in attendance tonight sporting their Wave winter caps. Looks like a pretty nice addition for the upcoming winter season.
Those were giveaways from the first game, weren't they, Tom?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And sure. As we said before, 5 games on the MASL slate tonight. And let's see if we can dial them up here. Give you some of the updated scores. Of course, it's 4-0 here with the Wave on top. 9:35 left to go in the first half. Florida 4-2 over Syracuse. That's second quarter down in Lakeland, Florida, home of the Tropics. Tropics off to a pretty good start this year. Harrisburg 4-2 over St. Louis. That is out in Harrisburg, first half score. A little bit later on tonight, the Tacoma Stars will be hosting San Diego. That should be a good one, Art, out at the ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington.
San Diego off to a 4-0 start. What is it, 3 undefeated teams so far in the MASL? Wave, San Diego. Who's the third one, Tom?
The Monterey Flash.
Monterey.
By former Chicago Mustang star Efrain Willow Martinez. They took care of Solis back-to-back. Solis also lost at El Paso. We're talking about the 2-time defending runners-up, if you will, from Sonora, and yet they almost dropped their 4th game in a row to start the season last night with the RGV Barracudas. Had to score in overtime to beat them 14-13.
Kim Runtved now out on the floor checking on his goalie. He's supposed to be checking on his goalie. He's actually in a lengthy conversation with referee Kyle Trimble. Not happy with the officiating here early on.
They just signed a new goalkeeper, Steven Hemerski, who said has looked pretty good, I guess, in practice so far. So
I don't see
him down there though.
Yeah,
On the bench. I'm trying to double check the lineup card here and see if he is listed. He is not listed on the sheet, so they may not have him on this trip. Comets right now are entering kind of a tough part of the schedule. They will be hosting Cedar Rapids on Sunday in a 5 o'clock game at the Independence Event Center, Silverstein Eye Care Center Arena in Independence. Then they've got Tacoma on December 8th for another home game, and then back-to-back at Cedar Rapids Saturday the 9th, Saturday the 16th, before hosting the Wave. Next meeting between the clubs is Friday, December 22nd, 7:35 in Independence. So, tough part of the schedule coming up here for the Kansas City Comets. You know they'd love to come back and win this one here tonight and get some positive momentum going.
Good to see Casey Gasson, the Kansas City keeper, back up and staying in the game here.
Meanwhile, as we talked about the Wave, they'll be in St. Louis Friday night to take on the Ambush. Second trip for Milwaukee down there this season. And then be right back here the following night to battle the Tacoma Stars. That's Saturday, December 9th. 6 o'clock kickoff here at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Call the Wave office for tickets at 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for everything Wave, MilwaukeeWave.com. Wave off to a great start this year. There is nothing like a Wave game here at Panther Arena. Again, 414-224-WAVE to order your tickets. Next home game, December 9th, 6 o'clock against the Tacoma Stars. Grable, top of the area, lays it off for Chino Curiel, trying to go back to the point, but could not make the connection with Ferdinand. And boy, good stand-up tackle there by Leite to dispossess the Kansas City attacker, Brian Perez. I think Perez might have been a little surprised there on that stand-up tackle by Leite.
Marcio, what is this about his 10th to 11th season in indoor soccer, Tom?
Well, 06-07 was his first,
right,
but he missed 2 complete seasons due to knee injuries, so this would be his 10th season out of 12 with Milwaukee.
So impressive, his fitness level after 10 years. Just never seems to age out there. Number 77, Marcio Leite.
Sinclair trying to control for Kansas City, drops it back, Rodriguez. Now across for Pino, Herrero Pino, a former UMKC Kangaroo. They've had a number of them come through the Comets program over the years. UMKC and Park University. The alma mater of the man who was just fouled there, Nacho Flores. Usually, Art, between those two schools, you could put together half the Comets team in any one season with their alumni.
Not sure if Rick Benben, former St. Louis SIU Edwardsville goalkeeper, still leads UMKC. terrific goalkeeper, and then turned coach.
Yeah, they've established a pretty good program there, to say the least. And Park University, an NAIA powerhouse, that's the same school that produced the Palmer twins, as we call them, even though they're not related. Used to be with Kansas City with the Comets for several years, now out with Tacoma. Great addition to the Tacoma Stars. And of course, we'll see the Stars in the next home game coming up here, Art. And that's a team that looks like it has the components to be a possible playoff contender this year.
I don't think there's any question about it. They've got a lot of veteran players, and then to add two pieces like the Palmers, great pickups. And you know, you could see with Kansas City, they're missing both those guys, no question about it. But the big one for me is their general, Vahid Asadpour. I mean, this team just doesn't have the same type of attack without Vahid. You can really see how much he meant to that team. But then you also throw in there Talut, Manningu
with Tacoma, Talut with San Diego. Great pickup for
Brian Sosa.
The Sockers.
I mean, it's gonna take a while for Kim Runtved and these guys to find their way around, but Kim's been at this a long, long time. Veteran coach, he'll get this team rolling. I think the Wave is fortunate that they're catching Kansas City twice early on in the season before they can really find their game.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. I think the Comets are going to be much more formidable by the second half of the year if they stay healthy.
Right now, they just don't seem to have the attacking pace that they've had in the past. You know how they're so good in transition, and when they win the ball, to take off with Talut and the Palmers and Vahid, they were so good transitionally from defending to the attack. We haven't seen that here tonight, and give the Waves credit, though, for their defensive transition as well.
Well, they were a veteran group that had worked together for a long time. And then, you take away that other defender they had in the back there, who I'm drawing a blank right now. But, yeah, a lot of veteran players, and it's tough when you, as a foul is called there, and we're going to get a penalty coming up on Stokic. Right in front of the Comets bench. And you look at Stokic, and he incredulously looks over at Jamie Walter on the call there.
Well, if Kim Runtved wasn't happy before, he's going to be absolutely irate now.
Well, they're going to get him for tripping at 8:08 of the second quarter. First power play of the night for either team. And we'll see if the Wave can extend its.
You saw it on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay there, but as you see, Stokic got some blood on that the lip there. But I got to kind of agree with Stefan there. All these fouls that have been called, that wasn't much more of what we've seen so far. I'm not sure why that's a blue.
Wave on the power play this year, 7 for 10 at 70%. They're among the league's best in that category after a phenomenal man advantage percentage last year, leading the league in power play goals. Now Matos sneaks up to take it away, 2-1 with Bennett. Matos lays it off, Renault coming through, shot save. Gasson as he came out to cut the angle that time.
Sinclair got his pocket pick there at his own yellow line. He's got to sprint back defensively after he lost it. Started walking back, and the Wave had a 3-on-2.
When you turn the ball over, you better be the first one hustling back, which I believe is what Bucks assistant coach Sean Sweeney mentioned to Giannis in that game against Utah.
Did, didn't he? Guy that used to say, former Kansas City player, by the way, and Milwaukee Wave veteran Yilmaz Orhan, but Yilmaz used to say, I try to play that when my teammate loses the ball, respond like you would when you lose the ball. Because the natural instinct is to go chase as soon as you lose the ball. Not sure Yilmaz always practiced what he preached, though.
Well, he had the right idea.
Great attacking player, Yilmaz Orhan.
Over the top, Bennett, follow around, shot a goal! Power play goal for the Wave, and Milwaukee leads it 5-0. And Robert Renault with the hat trick already as Ian Bennett picks up the assist. Check it out one more time in the Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
See the ball over the top that time. Bennett trying to finish it, but he shoots it wide, and Renault in the middle of the box on the doorstep to finish it off. Not a lot Gasson could have done on that one.
Robert with the hat trick, 8 goals on the season. Remember, he had an assist earlier tonight. He's already working on a 4-point night as you get a good look at the second-year man, native of Quebec. Now, he may sound like he should be playing for the Admirals, but he is very much at home in the MASL. There's no question about that.
If you're going to play against the Milwaukee Wave, one of your points of emphasis as a coach has got to be don't commit penalties, because on the power play, this Milwaukee Wave team is lethal. With Bennett, Ferdinand, and Renault as the front line, and then you got the technical ability of Leite and Matos in behind. And you still got guys like Jonathan Santos right there on the bench that can come out and run it.
There's no doubt that first group, though, that's probably as potent of a power play unit as you're going to find in the league.
Kansas City in desperate need of a restart goal here from the top of the arc as Grable, the Wave defender, kicked it out of play.
And a nice sliding effort by Andre Haines to deflect that shot by Pino into the crowd. Corner kick coming for KC.
And I've seen some really, really bad restarts this year, Tom. There's, whatever happened to just playing the simple ball. Run up and hammer it, or spread the other team out and make a simple pass. There's so much trickery now, or attempted trickery in the game, that really, it just doesn't need to be.
And it comes as Trombini fanned on the first attempt. His follow-up was blocked out. Wave doing a good job to block some shots now here in the second quarter. Lemos will come out to get that one. Flores accidentally tripped down after the fact.
Leo Gibson, the guy who needs to be the catalyst for Kansas City, still in the penalty box over on the far side.
Yeah, I had that descent call earlier in the period, and he went off at 5:25, and so his time would just be got up, but then he's got to wait until a natural break in the action to come back. As Bennett comes down and puts one up into the stands, and now the time has expired on Gibson's penalty, and since there's a natural break, he can't come back on. If you look at Ian Bennett, Ian picking up his second assist of the year. Also had an earlier goal tonight. 2 more points for Ian. He's got 13, but the league's leader right now, Art, is Robert Renault. 4 points tonight, 15 on the year. Stuart Graber called for the foul. There's Stuart, the native of Neenah, Wisconsin. And third year with the Wave, Stuart has really emerged as a solid player for Milwaukee.
We saw Coach Keith Tozer in the last game here where they honored him at the arena. And Keith talked about Robert Renault, number 9 for the Wave, and he spoke in glowing terms of Renault as a member of the Canadian national futsal team. He said, man, that guy was a thorn in our side.
Good job there by Pat Kelly to keep the zone for Kansas City when it looked like the Wave might have a breakout. Stokich spinning, fell down, didn't get the call. Now Bennett, 3-2, here's Curiel coming in, and kick saving up beauty by Gasson.
Gasson's made some good saves coming off his line, that time on Curiel.
Here's Chino, Curiel back again. And well played defensively to send him to the corner. But loose ball comes to Bennett, turning shot to goal! Ian turns around, and there it is, 6-0 Wave.
When it rains, it pours, and right now it's pouring on Kansas City. Attempted clearance out of their own zone. It hit Kyle Williams in the heel. It came straight back to that man, Ian Bennett, who was right in the top of the penalty area, and he finished it. Watch the instant replay. It was a poor ball out of the back. We couldn't see it. Then through the 5-hole of Gasson.
Unassisted goal for Bennett, his second of the ninth, 12th of the season. He's got 3 points tonight, including an assist.
Much to the delight of Wave chaplain Casey Seymour, parked in there behind the goal. Sorry, Tom.
And Ian with a few words for the Comets bench, it looked like.
He was talking with Kim Runtved. Not sure Runtved was too happy with the celebrations of Bennett. It might not have been, though. I just looked like he was talking to Kim.
Speculation running rampant
Yeah.
on perhaps what it is.
Hey, Kim's old school, man. He's as old school as they come.
Fierce
there's a lot of
competitor,
people that-
excellent player. He was not a guy you wanted to get on the proverbial bad list when you were playing Kent Runtved.
Kim Runtved was one of the best attacking defenders in all of indoor soccer. Had an absolute bullet of a shot with his right foot. Remember a goal he scored in the 1982, I believe, All-Star game in Kemper Arena where Jurgen Christensen, a lefty from Wichita, played a little chip over the top and Runtved hit a bullet out of the air into the upper corner. It was the same game Stan Stamenkovic scored a memorable goal in that All-Star game. And I might be wrong on my years. It was sometime in the early 80s.
At Kemper Arena, though.
Yes, it was.
And no doubt one of the great All-Star classics of all time. Here's Renault looking for number 4. He put it right off the post. Oh, Roberts almost had his 4th in the first half. Kelly gets stumped at midfield by Leite.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
He's going to go.
Now, if the one on Stokic was a blue card, then that one's got to be a blue card as well. So,
yep, no doubt.
Good job of refereeing that time by Jamie Walter.
So Marcio will go to the box. 2 minutes for either tripping or boarding at 12:19 in the second period.
Saw that time Tanner Hunyak, who's a young player, but a nice veteran move that time by Hunyak to throw himself into the boards. I'm sure his dad, Goran, has taught him some of the tricks of the trade throughout the years.
Comets on the power play first time tonight. 2 out of 5 this year for 40%. Milwaukee, as far as penalty killing is concerned, they're off to a good start. They've stopped 8 of 9 so far this year, so killing it off at 89%.
Leo Gibson out of the box now, right there in the middle of your screen, in the middle of that Kansas City power play.
2 minutes left to go in the half. Wave led it 3-0 at the end of 1. Bennett's going to get called for a foul as Nacho went down that time. There's a drive wide right by Pina. Rodriguez tracks it down, slips the pass through, and eventually ball deflects up into the stands. Well, I tell you, Andre Haines has been fired up tonight, and so has Guilherme Vega, who blocked that shot, and it's going to be Wave possession. Defense responding well in front of the goalkeeper, Lemos, tonight. KC will get it back. Still 53 seconds to go on the power play. There's a shot knocked out in front. Number 3 is James Togba. He's a rookie defender out there for Kansas City. He's got it right now. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Brian Perez, number 9, not number 3. I don't think we've seen Togba tonight. Now Rodriguez tees one up. And he puts one up into the stands. Had a good look at it that time.
Too many shots wide and high by this Kansas City power play. They've had chances, but their inability to get shots on target have let them down here on the power play.
One more time on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
Lukas, a natural left-footed player that time, tried to load up with the right side.
Last minute of play here in the first half. Wave trying to hold off the Comets on the power play. Gibson, top of the area, had it poked away. Vega trying to dribble out, had it taken off his foot. Now he moves it up, trying to get to Bennett, who checked down.
And Leite out of the box with him.
2-0 against the keeper. Here comes Leite. Shot and a goal. Boy, and I'll tell you, the Comets are going to be all over this, as I believe it was Rodriguez who got knocked down. 50-50 ball or potential foul, if you will. No call, and Leite finishes it off on the assist from Bennett. What timing there, as Marcio coming out of the box just as the Wave got possession one more time on the Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay. Ian Bennett almost overled him with the pass, but Marcio with a nice cutback there into the empty nets with the left footer.
Part of your responsibility when you're playing on the power play is to know how much time is left in a penalty. And that time, Kansas City, unaware of how much time was left on Leite's penalty, and that directly led to a 2-on-0. And it was Marcio who got the finish on the ball from Bennett, but you've got to know how much time is left on a power play. And that's part of the goalkeeper's responsibility as well. You see it in hockey where the goalkeeper will slam his stick on the ice 5 or 6 times to let those guys know the penalty's expiring. Poor communication that time by Kansas City.
Marcio gets his 4th of the year on Bennett's 3rd assist, Ian's 2nd helper of the game. So Ian Bennett having a big night offensively with a couple of goals and a couple of assists. Wave looking to clear at 10 seconds to go in the period. Here's Renault running it upfield. Robert 1-on-4, and eventually they called for a foul. Well, he did a great job to just try and use up the rest of the time, coming upfield against just about the whole Comets defense.
And the Comets find themselves with an Alex Smith touchdown pass, an extra point behind. A 7 spot at the break.
Well, a very unsettled halftime coming for Coach Renfed and the Comets. A, because of the score, and B, because I don't think Coach Renfed is probably too impressed with the way the calls have gone in the first half. But nonetheless, take nothing away from the Wave. They've executed tremendously here in the first half and are well-deserving leaders going into halftime.
On both sides of the ball as well. It hasn't just been the attack. They've played well defensively in front of Lemos as well.
You see our next home game coming up Saturday, December 9th against the Tacoma Stars. We will be standing by for Van the Man McNeil to talk with Wave head coach Giuliano Oliviero. Remember, call the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE, to order your tickets for December 9th. Let's send it down to Van McNeil with Coach Oliviero.
Here with the head coach of your Milwaukee Wave, the Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner. You got to be happy with what you're seeing here in the first half, Coach.
Absolutely. I thought it was a complete half from Josh Lemos all the way out to Ian Bennett. I mean, the commitment to play defense, and really, if we think about defense, it's all about hard work and being committed to the team, and the guys have been phenomenal. And on the opposite side, we know we got a dynamic offense, and it's really showing. So we're really happy.
Now, this may not be the same Kansas City Comets team that we've seen in the past. They're still our biggest rival, but the sense of physicality out there, it's getting a little chippy.
Yeah, they're a good team. You know, in arena soccer, things are never over. So you know what? As a player and a coach, I've been on the other side against the Comets, so we know it's never over. We're going to put our best foot forward in the second half as well.
Absolutely. Another 30 minutes to go. Head coach Giuliano Oliviero, the Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner. Over to Doreen Michaels. You got something special, Doreen?
Experience Wisco Hotels, a broad selection of quality hotels throughout the state of Wisconsin for the value-minded traveler. Whether you're looking for a hotel in Milwaukee, Madison, Fond du Lac, Appleton, or Oshkosh, Wisco Hotels has you covered with great service, comfort, convenience, outstanding hotel rates, special hotel promotions, and so much more. To book your room or to get more information, visit wiscohotels.com. Wisco Hotel Group, proud partners of your Milwaukee Wave. The Milwaukee Wave presents the State Farm Save of the Game. In the Wave's home opener against Cedar Rapids, goalkeeper Josh Lemos showed no signs of a sophomore slump as he came up big time after Rampage goalie Brett Petrusek came out of the box and attacked to no avail. Lemos had a save percentage of .462 on the night, along with 13 shots against and 7 goals against, and of course he's pumped up. The State Farm Save of the Game, brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. In New Berlin, contact Matt Teresi at 262-427-2227.
You could be my love, even if the sky is falling down. I know that we'll be safe and sound.
So many Americans struggle with finances. Starting today, State Farm is here to help, giving us all the chance to simply sit down and learn. Visit letstarttoday.com or talk to an agent.
We're safe and sound.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
Rappa clears it off the line. Oh! Rappa clears it off the line.
Attacker, so put myself in the right spot, and I've been working on saving balls off the line, so it paid off.
Oh, there he goes. The ice.
all your construction needs.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
So every August, we have our customer appreciation.
From downtown Brew City, our big rivals, the Kansas City Comets, roll into town. Second of 4 meetings between the teams this year. Milwaukee coming away with a hard-fought 7-4 victory down at the Independence Event Center 3 weeks ago. Amazingly enough, that's the last time that either of these two teams have played, so I guess you could say they're coming in an equal basis as far as rest is concerned. Wave off to a 4-0 start. Comets are 1-1. Both teams expected to be probably battling it out for the division title this year in the MASL Central Division. What's your outlook on tonight's game?
Well, for Kim Runtved, the new coach of the Kansas City Comets, he was happy to get 3 weeks of training. He didn't have a lot of his players in, and so that 3 weeks of training for them is he's think it's going to be big. We'll see tonight. For Giuliano Oliviero and the Milwaukee Wave, off to a great start. Veteran crew. Really playing well. As far as depth, I don't think there's any team in the league that has as much depth as the Wave. They've got the veteran leadership, they've got a ton of goal scorers, and they're really a favorite every time they go out to play. So the onus is going to be on Kansas City tonight to come out and improve their game.
You know, when you talk about this rivalry, Art, these teams have met in the last 7 consecutive postseasons. Kansas City winning 4, the Wave winning 3. Certainly would not be surprised if it turned out again that way this year. But what is it about this rivalry that really over the years has really brought it to a pretty intense level?
Well, I think the amount of times that the two teams play obviously is a big factor. But, you know, 2 really good veteran teams over the years. And, you know, the one thing about Kansas City now is they've lost a number of their veteran players. They don't have their general, Vahid Asadpour, not back. Max Talut is not there. Ramon Palmer, Robert Palmer, Elaine Mattingu. I mean, so there's 5 or 6 guys, Johnny Sosa, that are not with that team this year. And so it's going to take Kim Runtved a while to get this team gelling. But as far as the rivalry, there are enough familiar faces there that to understand the battle that goes into this, the grind that goes into this one, and I'm expecting another grind tonight for both teams. Should be an excellent game tonight. Goalkeeping matchup tonight. Josh Lemos, of course, has played tremendously for the Wave. This is his 2nd full season with Milwaukee. And on the other side, you've got Casey Grasson, rookie indoor keeper, at least at the MASL level. Has shown well the first couple games, played fairly well against Milwaukee the first time out, but again, he's a rookie, and I'm sure he's going to have some challenging nights in this league. Well, if you're going to put a check mark in favor of one of the 2 teams, it's going to be the Milwaukee Wave and Josh Lemos. Lemos is just, the thing that makes him so dynamic in the goal is his ability to play with his feet. He really is the quarterback of this offense. They play through him, does not make many mistakes in the attack, and very confident with the ball. And the young guy on the other side's got his work cut out. First time coming into Milwaukee, hostile environment, tough place to play, so we'll see how he handles it tonight. One of the iconic venues of North American Professional Indoor Soccer, the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. It's the Wave against the Kansas City Comets, and we're coming right back. This is Wave Soccer.
Art Kramer, how about a nice round of applause for them? They also won an award last year, the best broadcast in the Major Arena Soccer League. Of course, you can watch all of our games at MASL TV and on YouTube, but a nice round of applause for Tom Wynn and Art Kramer, the voice of your Milwaukee Wave and the Best Broadcast Award.
And the blast out of 6-3, they extended the lead. They were up 4-3. They've got 2 quick ones here to extend their lead to 6-3 over Ontario.
Taking on the Ontario Fury, who will be in Harrisburg tomorrow night, I believe. So a tough East Coast weekend for the Fury, who was coming off an 8-0 shutout loss at San Diego last time on it. I saw that game hard. I'll tell you, Chris Toth, the goalkeeper for San Diego, was absolutely superb. His father, Zoltan Toth, would have just been more than more than awestruck by the performance of his son, Chris.
I'm sure
and he probably was.
Was quite proud, yeah. Zoli, the goalie, Zoltan Todt. You said his son, Chris, minded the nets for San Diego.
He and Boris Pardo giving the Sockers some premium goalkeeping so far this year.
Ontario had a lot of good chances early on in that game, but just couldn't get one behind Todt, and then they broke it open.
But in that field in Baltimore, goals can come in bunches.
Yeah.
It's even smaller than the one in Sonora, if you can believe that. All right, KC with it in the white uniforms, going right to left as we look the action here in the third. Gibson trying to poke one in from the middle, up high on the shot, and the Wave controls as Lemos rolled out. Josh Lemos, a superb first half for the Milwaukee Wave. And not only Lemos, but the Wave defense itself, their team defense, was excellent as well. They didn't allow many chances for the Comets.
And I'm sure Giuliano stressed the importance of keeping their concentration, keeping their defensive discipline, making sure they get through this third quarter. If not extending that lead, at least keep it a 7-goal margin.
Renault coming in, and Casey Gasson cleared it away. Gasson having a nightmarish first half, but he did make some saves.
Yes, he did, and that one right there, he was leaning left, almost got caught leaning, but kicked out that right foot to make the save.
Robert Renault, a hat trick already in the first half, also added an assist. He now tops the league's scoring chart, 15 points in the year. That ties him with teammate Ian Bennett, who had a 4-point first half. And correction, Renault with, and Andre Haines sticks one in there. The big fella makes it 8-0. I was about to say that that Renault and Bennett both came in with 11 points. They both have 15. And Andre Haines puts that one away. Andre, who had an assist in the first half on the first goal by Ian Bennett, adds another one, and the Wave leads it 8-0.
Andre Haines possesses a great combination of size and technical ability. And you see that time, won the physical battle along the boards, and then toe poked it by Gas, and that ball hitting off the far post and finding the back of the net. And there the big fella is with his patented goal scoring celebration. I wouldn't want to get in the way of that guy, Tom.
No, I totally agree with you there. Andre, who really came on in the second half of last season for Milwaukee, especially in the postseason against these very same Kansas City Comets. And he has picked it up right here. Again, plagued by injuries in the first half last year, coming to a new team as well. And we didn't really see the real Andre Haines until the second part of the season, but he has continued to emerge. And again, could be a very key player for Milwaukee this season.
When he came back from that injury last year, Tom, he had a little trouble hitting the target on his chances. But as you said, he got it going later on in the season, and boy, really picking up where he left off at the end of last season.
Great combination of size and skill for Andre Haines. Began his professional career in St. Louis, where he started with the ambush after coming off a great career at Lindenwood University in St. Charles. Dennison to Bennett. Ian's going to tee one up from long range, missing high. Dennison will track it down. Challenged by Sinclair. And the Comets trying to work it out. Now Ferdinand breaks up that pass. Ferdinand coming in. Ferdinand toe pokes another one in. Deja vu all over again. Just like Max's goal earlier in the game. It's 9-0 Milwaukee, unassisted for Ferdinand at 3:34.
How smooth is that guy, number 24, Max Ferdinand? It was a giveaway by Gasson that time in his own zone. Poor clearance that time. And then you see Ferdinand using Stokic as a screen. Gasson really high off his line. We've seen that all night long as he really plays high off his line. Got himself right up Stokic's back and had no clear side of the ball. Ferdinand taking advantage of the decoys at the far post.
So Max with a hat trick tonight. He's got 5 goals on the year. And the league's leading playmaker, tied with Chili Farias, still looking for his first assist, but he's got a hat trick. Robert Renault has a hat trick. Wave one more to get to double figures, and boy, I'll tell you, Art, can't remember last time Milwaukee put up 10 in such quick succession in a home game as the Comets are going to get on the board. Leo Gibson bangs one in from the near post, and it's 9-1 as that breaks the 9-goal run for the Wave.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Well, you see Leo Gibson, that's where he likes to camp out, down there to the goalkeeper's right. And finally, the Comets are able to break through here. Saw that ball bounce off of Santos, right to Gibson at the far post.
9-2.
So at least something for the Kansas City fans to cheer about. Third goal on the year for Gibson. He's got 4 points. We'll double check on the assist there. Wave still leading by 8. And now a takeaway here by Flores, but well defended by Tenzin Rampa on the play. Pass the middle, knocked down, rebound follow, that one wide. Flores trying to reload. He got dumped on the near side, they play on. Hunyek steps in to keep the zone for KC. And now Pat Kelly trying to come up with it, but Leite able to get it up for Bennett. Ian avoids the sliding Stokic. Kelly with good effort though to get it back.
Kansas City showing some good early life here in the second half.
Curiel with a nice sliding effort to break up that pass. But Ivanovic keeps it going. He's making his debut for KC tonight. And a centering pass in the middle. Shot and a goal. I think that's Kyle Williams who converted there. And the Comets have scored back-to-back goals. It's 9-2.
It's going to be a matter of concentration for the Wave here in the second half. As right now they've lost a little bit of concentration defensively. You see Gibson that time finding Kyle Williams. The Wave's got to, the first part of stopping Kansas City is to stop Leo Gibson. And right now here to start the second half, they've lost track of the dynamic Kansas City forward, number 14. Remember, Gibson was a leading goal scorer in the league for years. You can't give that guy space. He's the kind of guy that you just try to limit what he does offensively. Right now, the Wave has fallen asleep a little defensively against Leo Gibson.
Gibson with his second assist of the year. So he's got 2 points on the night, 5 for the year. Kyle Williams with his first point of any kind as he scores the goal to make it 9-2. There's a blast that goes wide right. I think it was Ivanovic that took that one for KC. Ferdinand coming up near side has it poked away. That was Gerardo Pino, number 6, who took the previous shot. Linos gathers that one in, out for Renault. He is tied up by Trombini. Well, good play by Trombini to be able to tie up Renault without getting called for a foul.
I got to think there's a little part of Coach Giuliano Oliveira that considered taking a timeout there after that second goal. I think if Kansas City gets the next one, you may see him take a timeout. Talk about the importance of concentrating for 60 minutes.
Yeah, I think if the Comets score again, we very well may see a timeout. Stokic, one of the original members of the Comets since they were revived in 10-11. He, Leo Gibson, Lukas Rodriguez, and I think Brian Perez might be on that list as well. Perez did spend a half season with the Wave back at 13-14, but then right back to the Comets after that.
Perez hasn't done anything tonight, Tom, but it seems like every time we play against Kansas City, Brian Perez is just a wave killer.
Absolutely. Flores tried to get around Renault, couldn't do it. Not easy to get around Robert Renault. Now, again, takeaway by KC. Gibson trying to float one in to the middle, but Lemos grabs it.
The Wave has gotten really loose defensively here in the third quarter. They've got numbers back, but they're just allowing too much space for Kansas City in the attacking third of the field.
Turning shot there by Gibson off the mark. Ferdinand with it. Immediately checked off the play by Sinclair, but the foul called. And Sinclair, again, not very impressed with the call.
It's natural, though, Tom. You get a 7-goal lead, you're up 7 at halftime, you go in, guys are feeling like, okay, got to get my points here in the second half, and you lose your concentration a little bit.
Takeaway, here comes Pino, racing into the attacking zone. He avoids the tackle by Santos. Shot was blocked.
Delayed penalty right now.
Ivanovic with a shot, that one is wide.
Gasson doesn't see it.
Well, he moves up to midfield.
Well, he can come off the floor right now and get a 6th attacker on. That 6th attacker doesn't need to wear a jersey. Kim Rundvedt is getting the jersey to a player, but they don't need a guy to put a jersey on. And now Gasson gives the ball away.
So, Wave is going to go shorthanded at 8:32 of the third period.
It's important to know the rules when you play the game, Tom. Got a delayed blue card penalty. The goalkeeper doesn't need to put on a 6th attacker jersey. Kansas City wasted time on the bench trying to get a 6th attacker jersey on. They didn't need to do it.
So the Comets with a bit of momentum. They've scored the last 2 goals, and they will go on the power play. Second time tonight, Wave able to kill off a penalty late in the first half, and as you recall, they added further insult to injury by scoring immediately after expired with Marcio Leite coming out of the box to tally the goal. That made it 7-0 at the time. That was our score at the end of the first half. Wave added 2 more here early in the third, but the Comets have bounced back with a pair of goals. Gibson and Williams doing the scoring for KC after Haines and Ferdinand had opened up the second half scoring for the Wave.
Tom, it's a big rule book, man. There's a lot to know, a lot to learn. I remember riding around on the East Coast with me, you, Coach Tozer, Larry Sales, Brian Cook, and we used to kind of quiz each other on the rules, right?
Yep.
I got one for you. So here's the question. On the 6th attacker, where does the goalkeeper need to get to before that player can come onto the floor? Where would you say?
Inside the dash line.
Inside the dash line. That's what you would think, right? The 6th attacker can come on as long as the goalkeeper makes a motion to come towards the bench. So he could be all the way back by his yellow line, and as long as he's coming to the bench, that 6th attacker can enter the field at any time. There's an obscure little rule for you, huh?
But a good subtlety, and again, could be very valuable for a team to know that.
Right there, Kansas City could have gotten that 6th attacker on the field had Gasson known to just come and make a move towards the bench. They could have gotten that 6th attacker on the field 10 seconds earlier than they tried to.
All right, so KC with the power play restart in their attacking zone. And it comes to Flores, and he hits one on a 90-degree angle off to the right.
They used to, in the old MISL, they used to call balls that were kicked out of bounds intentionally blue card. I remember Gino DiPolito. Billy Maxwell used to make that call. Bill Maxwell just passed away, by the way, longtime referee. But that one there by Nacho Flores might have been called a blue card.
But no, what a pass to get through to Bennett. Ian coming in, shot just wide as he tried to beat Gasson to the near side.
I think Gasson got a piece of that shot at the near post.
What good strike there by Ian on the shorthand bid by the way. What a play by Renault, fending off a couple of defenders and then finding Bennett ahead on the left wing. Tell you, Robert is zoned in his game right now.
Everybody at the professional level can play. You wouldn't be a professional if you didn't have the ability, the technical ability, but confidence counts for so much. And right now, Renault playing with a tremendous amount of confidence.
There's Brian Perez with it. He's out top with Stokic on this Kansas City power play. Lemos made that save. Grable clears it down. Leo Gibson also out there for KC on the power play. Grable, Bennett, Leite, and Renault, the penalty killers for Milwaukee. And now takeaway here. Bennett working his way past a couple of defenders. Ian is 1-on-4, doing a great job to kill off some time here, and
handball that time on
handballs. I was about to say, I thought he was going to draw the foul there, but he fell down and committed the handball. Trombini with the shot that's blocked. Again, the Wave defense has done a nice job of blocking shots in front of Lemos tonight. Ball chipped out of play. Wave will have it on the goalkeeper distribution. Still shorthanded for another 18 seconds.
You saw Bennett that time, Tom, try to take the ball along the near boards and kill some time. One of the first coaches the Kansas City Comets ever had was Louis Dabo. Louis taught me that the boards are your friend on the man down. Take the ball along the boards, waste time. You can also draw fouls when you're on the man down. Louis lasted a total of 9 games in Kansas City after a 2-7 start.
Well, the Comets have now scored 3 in a row.
And just as we said, there he is, Brian Perez at the back post.
Almost inconceivable that you could have a whole game of Brian Perez playing against the Wave, right, and not getting on the score sheet sometime, and he does right there as he tallies at 10:34. Take a look at the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. Lemos looked like he got a little piece of that, but couldn't keep it out.
He was trying to use the boards as a brace to get a little bit better balance, and it didn't look like he ever got the balance to keep his frame strong enough to keep it out.
Brian Perez at 10:34. He gets his third.
Was that a power play goal, Tom?
And that was 2 seconds after the penalty expired. So a virtual power play goal, but officially not. 9-3. You certainly knew the Comets weren't going to just sit here and lay down for the rest of the game.
3 unanswered right now for Kansas City.
They get it up to about 5 unanswered before we get to the fourth period. We very well could have a thriller shaping up before this thing is done.
If any of those folks at Coach's Pub and Grill in Overland Park left, they may want to turn around.
Daniel Matos will play it back out to Ferdinand. Now to the goalkeeper Lemos. Josh getting run at as the ball deflected out of play. Wave going to put it down for a quick restart as now Kansas City able to get back. Ferdinand working on a hat trick. Max couldn't slalom between those defenders as Pat Kelly took it away for KC. Gibson across. Center Gibson turning shot just wide right. Boy, he could just turn from that top of the area and blast it straight on about as quickly as anybody. Lemos has it. Lemos pushing up, trying to lead the break for the Wave. Sends it downfield as Gasson has to reload on it.
I said Coach's Pub and Grill, Tom. It's actually Coach's Bar and Grill. I don't want those folks in KC getting upset with me.
Never.
See, Brian Budzinski's back doing the analysis for the Kansas City games.
Yeah.
He does a great job. Him and the Greek, Nick Vasos, Brian Buds.
Yeah, they were just absolutely tremendous on that broadcast in Kansas City back on November 12th. And really one of the great teams of indoor soccer as far as broadcasting goes.
There's a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones. I love the guys in San Diego as well. Craig Elston and his partner out there. They do a fantastic job.
They do an excellent job. Excellent job. And they certainly have a good team to cheer for this year. And Man down for the Wave. Is that Andre Haines?
Looks like Jonathan Santos.
Jonathan Santos is down. And boy, somebody might have taken one in the stands as well. You got to...
Carnage over there on the far side.
Wow. Jonathan Santos, veteran who returned to Milwaukee for the first time in 4 seasons this year. Began his indoor career with the Wave in the 7-8 season. Played here through 11-12, and then so you take a look from the Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay. It was really Santos who was charging up and hurt his back as he was trying to challenge.
Bang, bang play over there along the boards. That ball deflected off of Santos and caught that young lady in about the 12th row. Let's hope she's okay.
So we've got injured player on the field, injured fan in the stands.
Wave front office staff over there helping out, attending to the young lady in about the 12th row there on the far side. See, Ontario has battled back to make it 6-5 at Baltimore.
8:40 to go in the 4th quarter. So they're still checking on Jonathan Santos. Meanwhile, let's take a look at our Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay. Max Ferdinand having a great game tonight. Now check out this second goal, and it will look very much like the third. Toe poke from the top of the area. That was number 2 on the night for Max. And there's number 3. Max has got that spot locked down tonight. The 9-year veteran out of Reading, Pennsylvania, 3rd year with the Wave.
Max has got a lot of spots locked down.
One of the
just makes it look so easy as well.
That's the impressive thing about Max. He really,
I believe Ian Bennett was the Wave MVP last year, but you could make a strong case for Max Ferdinand winning that award last year as well.
Ian will be the first one to tell you that he loves playing on the line with Max because a lot of Max assists have gone to him, and anybody playing with Max is usually going to benefit from that affiliation. As Brian Perez took the foul there, you got to look at Perez, the former UMKC star. And again, he's had an excellent career with the Comets.
And that's what makes this Wave team so dangerous this year. You got Marcio, Max, and Ian. And then you add Andre Haines and Robert Renault to the mix as guys who are going to be potentially leading goal scorers in this league. And you got 5 guys at a minimum that can light you up on any night.
Wade, by the way, playing without defender Drew Ruggles tonight. Drew was suspended by the league for a post-game incident after the game in Kansas City. The last time these teams played 3 weeks ago. So if Santos is unable to return, Wave is going to be down a bit defensive depth-wise. We'll look forward to seeing Drew back in the lineup this upcoming weekend when the Wave plays in St. Louis Friday, I should say. Friday the 8th in St. Louis, and then Saturday night here in Milwaukee. The next home game against the Tacoma Stars, Saturday, December 9th. At 6:05, call the Wave office for tickets at 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com. MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for everything Wave. Whether it be tickets, merchandise, summer camps, you name it, MilwaukeeWave.com. Comets coming back, trailing by 6, but they've scored the last 3. Limo's pass was inadvertently deflected back by his teammate Hans Dennison. Played to midfield, but it stays in. And now Pino back the other way. Gibson tried to flip it over the top, but a little too far. Lemos serves it out to midfield. Leo Gibson will track it down. Hammers one in that Leite was able to deflect away. Sinclair Wheels went in off the end board. Vega will pick it up. Vega looking long for Bennett, trying to get back behind the defense, but that will do it for the end of the third period. Comets actually outscore the Wave 3-2. Well, they are not going away yet. We'll take a break, come back with the fourth quarter. This is Wave Soccer.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
Well, every August, we have our customer appreciation party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
Everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena Rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
Experience Wisco Hotels, a broad selection of quality hotels throughout the state of Wisconsin for the value-minded traveler. Whether you're looking for a hotel...
The game, during the game? Oh, okay. Okay, so then we'll just call it out. And once again, a thrilling night at UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Site of tonight's Major Arena Soccer League match between the Milwaukee Wave and the Kansas City Comets. That is Ed Harris, the premier Michael Jackson impersonator, doing his thing. And
outstanding, by the way. Did a great job. And Ian Bennett was, I was watching the huddle, and Giuliano was trying to talk to the team, and Ian Bennett, he was, hey, coach, I want to watch this, man. I want to watch this act this guy's putting on.
Great show, as you said, Art. And the fans here tonight have had a great time watching the Wave forge out to a 9-3 advantage. But it's, we saw in the third period, Kansas City is still going to play this one out. They scored the last 3 goals in the third to cut it to 6. So Wave isn't just going to be able to just totally sit back and let the Comets keep coming at them.
That Michael Jackson impersonator down there on the Wave bench, I think he's trying to get a shift. See if he can run in there with the second line.
All right, we begin play with a Wave. Moving it right to left as you look at the action here in the fourth period. Milwaukee in the dark uniforms. Josh Lemos tied up by the Kansas City defense and a couple of his own teammates. Here's Trombini with a shot and a goal. Laser to the top shelf. And the Comets have now scored 4 in a row. It's 9-4.
Well, Trombini with a bullet of a left foot that beat Lemos. Let's take another look. It was a Wave giveaway. And then Lemos had the hands down. Might have been screened a little bit that time by Rampa. You see Tenzin turning to block that shot, and Lemos wasn't able to get the hands up in time. But Trombini with an absolute rocket that time that beat Lemos. And Kansas City with 4 unanswered.
Trombini's first of the year unassisted at 19 seconds of the fourth period.
You got to feel better if you're Kim Runtved down there on that Kansas City bench at the response here in the second half for the Comets.
Leite with a great move, tried to move it across for Bennett, broken up by the Comets. Vega gets it back at midfield. And now Matos will move it over to Leite.
To recall, it was 7-0 at halftime. The Wave came out 2 early goals. It looked like they were going to run away with this thing, but Kansas City has righted the ship a little bit.
Wave trying to make it 2-0 against the Comets this year, coming off their 7-4 victory in Kansas City back on November 12th. Again, the Comets' home field is the Silverstein Eye Center's Arena in Independence, Missouri, the old Independence Arena. Home of the Kansas City Mavericks hockey team as well. Ricardinho tried to play it ahead. Pass broken up. Flores lays it off. And the shot blocked. Pino's shot blocked. Nice block there by Ricardinho.
Well, Pino had space to his left, and he cut it right back into the defended space.
Comets are already going with the 6th attacker now as Lukas Rodriguez has the jersey. So Kim Runtved figuring they got a little momentum. If they're really going to get back in this thing, maybe now's the time. Renault is dumped. Ricardinho has it, puts it off the top of the frame. Would not come straight down to stay in for a goal. Renault trying to clear it back, but the Comets come away with it. Now 3-on-2. Gibson cuts it back, still working, lays it off, and the shot by Ivanovic is knocked down.
Not a good decision that time by Gibson. He was in a good position to shoot and elected to pass it up.
And a nice assist there as it's redirected in by Flores. 9-5. The Comets have scored 5 in a row.
And I think Giuliano Oliviero has seen enough. He's going to call a timeout here as Gibson that time made a good decision and found Flores. Ignacio at the far post buries it.
Nice redirect as we saw on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. 5 straight goals for the Comets, the latest coming at 2:40 of the fourth period as Nacho Flores, the former Park University star, puts it away. Ignacio, their leading scorer coming in tonight's game, gets his 4th of the year. Leo Gibson with the assist, his 2nd of the night, 3rd of the season. And I would imagine there's got to be a bit of concern with Coach Oliviero right now.
Well, you could see it all the way back at 9-2 that the Wave, from a concentration standpoint, was not fully engaged. And it's continued over the last 10, 11 minutes. And as you said, 5 unanswered right now for Kansas City. It's going to be interesting, Tom, to see if Coach Kim Runtved elects to go with that 6th attacker. I was a little bit surprised. They had scored 4 goals. They had the momentum going their way. They were fortunate they didn't get scored on by Ricardinho with the 6th attacker. So right now, 12 minutes to go still. Down 4. I would probably wait till about this 7 or 8 minute mark until I pull that goalie again, because 5v5, Kansas City is dominating the play right now.
Well, Casey Gaslin is indeed coming back on as Wade prepares to kick off.
But you see Lukas Rodriguez, he still has the 6 attacker jersey on down on that bench. So it appears, anyway, that when they gain possession, we'll see Rodriguez come on as that 6 attacker. He's talking with Coach Runfed right now, and now Rodriguez takes the 6 attacker jersey off. So Kim has decided, as I thought, to probably wait a little bit longer here now. But they're in this game, Tom.
They are back in it.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, the Wisco Hotel Group strives to exceed your expectations with the host.
Comets returning home on Sunday, 2 days from now, to host Cedar Rapids. That will be a 5 o'clock kickoff in Independence. And that will be a key early season game for those Central Division rivals. Cedar Rapids finally putting up a win after dropping their first 3 this year. Actually, they've got 2 in a row now coming into this weekend.
This has got to be a learning experience for the Wave, because this is now the 2nd time that we've seen them lose their concentration this year with big leads. Now, the good news is they got the ability to get big leads, so let's give them credit for that. But they got to continue to concentrate for 60 minutes, especially when you get later in the season and these games start to take on more meaning.
By the way, it's a final in Baltimore. Blast has won it. I didn't quite catch the final there, Art. It was 8-5, perhaps. But the teams are shaking hands out at midfield. And it is a Blast victory. They are still undefeated in their brand new bandbox at Towson State University. Late put down and the foul is called. As Flores will get called for the foul. Baltimore, by the way, improves to 3-1, 3-0 at home this year. And the Ontario Fury drops to 2-3. They are 1-3 on the road. Here the Wave looking to hang on for their 5th consecutive victory to start the season, but it has definitely become a little more tense here from when Milwaukee led it 9-0 early in the 3rd period. It's now 9-5. Get a look at Tanner Hunyak, the son of the former scoring legend Goran Hunyak.
The psychological part of the game is so important, and players got to understand that you just can't turn it on and off from a concentration standpoint. You got to stay engaged the entire time, and the Wave has definitely lost their concentration here since about the 5-minute mark of the 2nd half.
Williams got around Santos, fires a shot, and just off the frame. Limos might have gotten a piece of that. But now the Comets again threatening Hunyak. Nice move there, but he couldn't follow up on the inboard volley. Trying to get away with it now. Here comes Andre Haines walking in against the keeper. Andre chips one just wide. Good effort by Andre, but just unlucky there.
Gasson out in no man's land. He's way outside the box where he can't use his hands.
Give away here by Renault, and the save made by Gasson. And now walking in with the shot high was Perez. Rebound follow Rodriguez, and Limos makes the save. 10 minutes left to go. And a lot of chances now for both teams. Ferdinand heads it down. Bennett coming in. Ian trying to move off the board. Shot is knocked down. Wave reloads. Ricardinho keeps alive. Bennett tried to move it across, and it deflects in off the defender. Shot and a goal, Ian Bennett. And a big goal for the Wave. They lead it 10-5.
Unlucky that time for Casey Gasson, as that ball deflected off the Kansas City defender in front of him. Couldn't tell if that was, is that Kelly? Kelly or Flores, I believe.
Well, whoever it was, very unlucky for the Kansas City Comets. At 5:17 of the 4th period, Ian Bennett has his third goal of the night. 3 hat tricks for the Wave. Bennett, Renault, and Ferdinand.
That might have been Pino that it deflected off of in front. Huge goal for the Wave.
And Ian's league leading 13th of the year. And just like that, Comets come right back to score. It's now 10-6.
Ignacio Flores phoning home there, huh?
Yeah.
Good ball that time by Brian Perez, number 9. You see him spot Flores with a nice little run in front. Cheeky little finish there behind his, from the right leg behind the left leg.
Very cheekily done that time by Flores. He scores at 5:36. So it only took the Comets 19 seconds to come back and answer after Milwaukee had regained a 5-goal lead. Lemos is going to scoop this one up, and coming in and knocking it down that time is Pat Kelly. Kelly just a little too over-aggressive. We hope Josh is going to be okay. No malintent that time by Kelly, just trying to hustle and get there. As we take a look at it one more time in the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. He got him in a bad spot, as you can probably see. Hopefully Josh is going to be okay, but I'm sure that doesn't feel good.
To me, Tom, that's not a 2-minute penalty. Kelly slides in and actually turns his back, and by the time he ran into Lemos, there wasn't a whole lot of contact. Now, part of it is Lemos stayed down, which I think sold the call a little bit, but I don't agree that that's a 2-minute penalty. But Kyle Trimble and Jamie Walter have done a really good job tonight. And once again, it's a subjective game.
It is indeed a subjective game. Time of the penalty at 5:46 of the 4th period. So, Patrick Kelly will go to the box for a goalkeeper interference.
Kim Runtvedt on the Kansas City bench just got a little grayer up top with that penalty. Sees his team fighting and clawing his way back into this one. And that type of penalty is enough to drive you nuts down on the bench.
Well, I'm sure it's been a frustrating night for Kim. He was not overly happy the way the calls were going in the first half. And I'm sure that, that's part of the frustration when your team is also losing substantially like the Comets were in the first half. Now they have made a good effort to come back, and I'm sure, as you said, Art, that's probably enhancing his frustration somewhat. But like you said, it's all subjective.
Your Milwaukee Wave is now.
So the Wave goes on the power play. Wave 1 for 2 on the power play tonight, but in reality, almost 2 for 2. They scored a power play goal just a couple seconds after an earlier power play expired. Shot by Sinclair, short-handed. Good save by Lemos. That looks like a candidate, Art, right there for our State Farm Insurance save of the game. Josh Lemos on that, stopping that shorthand bid by Dane Sinclair.
Getting back to the penalty call, Tom. I'm a former forward, so I didn't see it that time. It's the old, you got to protect the goalie, and I always felt like it's not a quarterback in football, it's the goalie, okay? He's the only guy out there that can use his hands. Protect me, I can't use my hands, he can. What's the whole protect the guy that can use his hands out there? Doesn't he have the advantage by being able to use his hands?
Oh, I'm not sure. Victor Noguera, Danny Green, Carmen Asako, Nick Vorberg.
And you just named those guys, right? Every one of those guys you named is like 6'2" and over 200 pounds. I was 5'8" and 160, man. You're going to protect that guy?
You see Coach Olivier on the bench there, and certainly been a much more anxious second half for Giuliano than he was hoping. 10-6 Wave, but the Comets have scored 6 of the last 7 goals in this game. Wave is still on the power play for 59 seconds, and we have yet to reach the midway point of the 4th quarter.
Enter the southwest corner
Now a shorthand attempt by Rodriguez, and Lemos has to come up with a big save. That's 2 good saves. I said that Rodriguez, it was actually Stokic. Really didn't strike it as well as he was hoping. That could have really been trouble for Milwaukee. That would have cut it to 3.
30 seconds in the power play. We need some more noise here, Wave fans. It's too quiet.
Wave came into tonight's game 7 for 10 with the man advantage. 1 for 2 so far tonight.
Let's go, Wave.
Ferdinand looks down for Renault. Each of those guys has a hat trick tonight. Ian Bennett also has a hat trick. He's standing over here to the near post. Leite got it on that favored right foot, shot blocked. Good job by Stokic to go down and get it.
Yeah, it was actually Flores in behind Stokic that made the block, but a good job by number 23 to
power play restart coming for the Wave as you see Patrick Kelly still in the box getting ready to come out for KC. And it comes in the middle. And Marcio with a quick flick. Saved by Gasson. Kelly is out of the box. Oh, Renault pounded down by Kelly. Boy, how about Pat Kelly comes right out of the box. And within 5 seconds, he puts down Robert Renault. Just in case Robert had forgotten about him while he was in the box.
Just about to say, Tom, the Wave can't look at this like, well, we had a 9-0 lead and still try to keep going forward. They need to keep possession of the ball right now for long stretches of time. That's been one of the staples of their game, is when they get a lead in the 4th quarter, they keep possession and make the other team chase. And right now, a good 1 or 2 minutes of possession would go a long way to closing this game out.
Ricardinho trying to find Grable on the near wing, couldn't make the connection. Gasson getting pressure from Bennett. Pass broken up, but Ricardinho never saw the man coming behind him, I don't think. Pino, he'll drive it wide rights, flicked away by Ricardinho. Comets still keeping on the offensive pressure here.
See, right now, this game is too wide open for the Wave.
Milwaukee with the 4-goal advantage now. The retreating 6th attacker. That should be a handball.
Oh, that was a handball,
Wow,
and it should have been a shootout. They said it hit his shoulder. They missed that one.
Like to see the...
That was definitely an intentional handball that time by Rodriguez.
Instant replay on that one. Lukas Rodriguez, the 6th attacker for Kansas City. They go left to right here in the 4th. Rodriguez was on the field for an earlier 6th attacker goal, but made it 9-5. And a good job there by Ricardinho to step up and clear downfield. That will use up some more time.
The referee on this side, Trimble, didn't have a really good look at it. He looked back at Jamie Walter, and Walter said it looked like it hit him in the shoulder.
Well, that's not the worst non-call we ever saw. I'll never forget that game in Canton back in 92-93 where the guy who was 6th attacker, I think it was Ali Kazazmani, fully extended with hand out, knocked down a shot for Matt Knowles heading toward the empty net that would have clinched the game in Canton. And the referee called it unintentional play on.
I'll remember the game 2 years ago, Johnny Sosa with the handball off the line.
Yes, indeed. 4.5 to go. Comets with the extra attacker. They cut what was a 9-goal deficit at one point down to 4 a couple of times.
They might cover, Tom.
They very well might cover the spread tonight. No doubt about it. Now Ciambini plays it forward, but before we get a whistle, a foul called against the Wave. Hans Dennison gets the call. There you go, look at Hans. Dutch native in his 3rd season with the Wave.
I just laughed, Tommy. You know, the rule is you can't come onto the field on a foul, but you can still go off. I'm always amazed when a guy runs over the bench and all the guys are going, no, stay on, stay on. It's like, no, I can come off. Let me come off, and then you just jump on when the play resumes. A lot of times you see that guy coming over, they tell him, no, stay on, and then he ends up staying on and playing. It's like, no, the guy wanted to change. Let him come off.
Should never stop a player who wants to leave the field, that's for sure.
Yeah, especially if it's the guy you're changing with, too. I'm changing with you, Tom, and you want to change. I'm telling you, come on over here.
Lemos will take a timeout as instructed by Coach Oliviero. Well, again, our solid effort by the Wave for the most part tonight. In fact, you would say spectacular effort through the first 2 and a quarter quarters. After that, it's pretty much been the Comets. But 2 home games, 21 goals scored. If they can hang on to this, you're out to a 5-0 start. And again, not much more you can ask for to the start of a season.
I played on some championship teams with the Canton Invaders back in the early 80s, and there's a lot of similarities because we had a great team that could blow teams out. And we get into this situation where we have a big lead, we'd lose our concentration, the other team would crawl back into it, and after the game we'd say, well, you know, we got to keep our concentration a little bit. And this is what you're seeing, the Wave with just an outstanding offensive team, and had this game well in hand, but lost their concentration. They did it against, was it Cedar Rapids as well, where they got the big lead and then let them back in the game a little bit late in the game. So it's one thing to focus on for Giuliano and Marcelo Fontana to take a look at and remind the guys.
All right, so Tenzin got 3, you got 5. Congratulations, you get the great elbow.
What was Tenzin trying to do there?
I believe it was 20 seconds to name as many Michael Jackson hits as you could.
Did he say "We Are the World"? I think every singer was in that song, by the way. I don't think Michael Jackson was, though.
I don't think they give him credit for it, but
he was.
He was
okay.
in there, but
he was in there.
But I don't think Tenzin got credit for it in his contest against the Fan. The Fan had 5 anyway, so
that was a great guess by Tenzin because about almost every singer that ever lived was in that song.
You had Lionel Richie. You had Stevie Wonder was in that. I'm trying to think back to the video. It's been a while since.
Bruce Springsteen, right? Willie Nelson. He was in there too.
I think he was. So with 3.5 to go, Wave playing it up to midfield, and the foul going to be called on Dane Sinclair. O'Dane has very agreeable with the calls against him tonight. Former star at Baker University in Kansas, O'Dane Sinclair, as we mentioned, the league rookie of the year back in 2013-14.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a ball up here, Tom, in the years that we've been together, huh?
I don't think so. Not from this location. Come close a couple times, a few rows down.
You stopped bringing your ball net about 6 years ago.
Yeah,
I
had to give it up.
That big fishing net, swimming pool net. Back when you had that above ground pool at 4-footer.
Oh boy, those are the days. I think it was actually a 5-footer, but yeah, man, that was living. Backheel pass. Oh my goodness. Follow up by Vega after the beautiful, brilliant backheel touch from Max Ferdinand. That would have been a highlight reel conversion.
I've been impressed with this kid, Flores, on both sides of the field, doing a good job of blocking shots and then getting involved with some quality in the attack as well. Number 23, Ignacio Flores. Look at him right there. A flying block on Vega.
Rodriguez, the 6th attacker for Kansas City. We gave you that result, Baltimore defeating the Ontario Fury tonight in Baltimore, as there's a follow-up shot that goes in. Ivanovic, I believe, converts. Boy, he almost missed a 99%er there. Check this out on our Wisconsin Instant Vision replay.
Just a little chip up above Flores.
But he did get it to go, and that's the only thing that matters. And the Comets now have scored 2 in a row and 7 of the last 8 goals. This one comes at 12:45 of the 4th period. Don't look now. The Comets are back within 3, and we still have 2:15 left to go. So Milan Ivanovic making his seasonal debut tonight for the Comets. So we got a yellow card coming out here.
Little chip shot there by Ivanovic, like Tiger Woods around the green, Tom.
Join us next Saturday here in Milwaukee Fans Arena as your 6-time champion Milwaukee Waves take on the St. Louis Ambrose. Channel your inner wizard and join us for Wizards and Ruggles night. Going all Harry Potter.
Leo Gibson with the assists on that. Gibson has 3 assists tonight. Comets are going to stay with the 6th attacker. There's only 2:15 left to go. So no sense putting the goalkeeper, Casey Gasson, back in the game.
Saw Grable get sent to the box, Tom. And did you see what happened on that one? May have been for kicking the ball out of the field of play. Or it may have been for saying something. You
I'm
see
sure
that
there was some frustration involved, no matter what it was. Pino does a nice job to hold off Renault. Comets coming back. Trying to get within 2. Remember, the Wave led this game 9-0, 3 minutes into the second half as Gibson's shot knocked out of bounds. They're looking for a top-of-the-arc restart. Kansas City is.
They're going to say that was a block shot that time. You see it on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay, but tough. Very close. Very close.
98 seconds to go. The Comets put it in. These teams will meet again December 22nd in Kansas City, and we got a blue card coming out. And I believe it was Brian Perez going to the box for pounding down Santos. And
Kansas City Comets penalty.
Well, in the NFL, they tell you to lead with the shoulder, but the MASL, not recommended.
Number 9, Brian Perez.
I'll tell you, Kansas City's taking a couple ill-advised penalties here in the 4th quarter. That's really kind of stifled their momentum.
I don't know if there was full malice intended there by, right? Just the way his momentum was coming. And
But this is about 3.5 minutes of time penalties here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, remember last time they were shorthanded in this period. They had 2 great shorthanded opportunities and were unable to convert. A couple of nice saves there by Wave goalkeeper Josh Lemos. They're going to get called for the foul as we are now at 59.2 left to go.
Wave outscored 7-3 here in the second half.
Ian Bennett picks up that foul.
Leo Gibson tried to play it off of Bennett to get a delay of game warning, but Ian too quick for that.
Don't forget, Wave back home a week from tomorrow. Saturday, December 9th, to host the Tacoma Stars. First visit ever by the Stars. Danny Waldman and company will be rolling into town. Get your tickets. Call the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE. Renault! Bennett! Shot to go! And it's the Vegas scoreline. 7-11 with the Wave on top. Ian Bennett continues to rack up big numbers with the Milwaukee Wave.
As does Robert Renault, the man who played him that ball Renault with the assist, Bennett with the goal. And the Wave's going to improve to 5-0 here on this young 2017 season.
Time of the goal at 14-17. Yeah, it's too bad we still don't have a team in Vegas, but that being said, Ian Bennett, 4 goals tonight, a couple of assists for 6 points. Robert Renault with a hat trick tonight, and add a couple of assists onto his total as well. The league's 2 leading scorers, Bennett now with 17 points, Renault with 16.
Thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight, Tom. Those Comet Nation there over at Coach's Bar and Grill. Have a safe trip home.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully they still hung in there for the second half. Got to see some good stuff for the Comets. Comets will be home Sunday to host Cedar Rapids, 5 o'clock in Independence. They will fall to 1-2 after this game, but I'm sure they will be primed and ready for the Rampage Sunday. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Wave improves to 5-0. And Josh Lemos with another solid effort tonight. He is also 5-0 on the year. And Milwaukee will celebrate another victory here at the UWM Panther Arena, where the Wave is 2-0 this year and all-time in this facility since the 2003-04 season, when they moved in here across the street from the soon-to-be raised BMO Harris Bradley Center. Milwaukee 141-42 during the regular season at Panther Arena. Their all-time home record now 405-154 regular season, and their all-time regular season record in 33 plus seasons of indoor soccer, 663-447.
As we take a look at the Wisconsin Vision Instant Replays here, Tom, I got to ask you, who would be your pick for player of the game? Got any guesses? Got some tough choices there.
Well, the big three offensively, Bennett, Renault, and of course
Matt
Ferdinand. So probably one of those 3 guys. Josh Lemos played a great first portion of the game, and again, not going to say that he was terrible in the second half. His defense certainly didn't give the same kind of support as they did in the first half.
If I had to guess, I'd have to say it would be Ferdinand. I thought Ferdinand got him off to a really good start, scored the first goal, scored some early ones to get him a nice early lead.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with Max. Good call. Let's send it down. Van McNeil, our PCI hardest working player of the game.
Here with our Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working player of the game. We keep giving you this hat. 4 goals tonight, 2 assists, a monster night for number 26, Ian Bennett. What do you think here, Ian?
Yeah, God's good. Nah, man, I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, came in pretty banged up, but the team held it up, man. They worked hard, man. They really had confidence in me too when I was struggling this week, but I love those guys, man. That's why they're the best teammates.
Yeah, we had the long 3-week break here. Kansas City went through the same thing, but it's a new, different kind of Kansas City team, but still pretty physical.
Yeah, it's always tough to come back, especially after having that Thanksgiving. Everyone ate a lot and they're feeling good. But the coach Giuliano had a good game plan, and Cello, they really worked. And we're first half we did exactly what they wanted. And second half, I don't know what happened, but we still held on. We had the win.
It gives us some things to work on. We turn it right back around next Saturday here in this building against St. Louis. Not an easy team either.
No, everyone's going to come for us. Obviously we're 5-0. We want to keep it going, but everyone's going to try to give us our first loss. So we just got to stay humble, stay focused, and we'll get the job done.
Absolutely. Our PCI hardest working player of the game. Give it up for number 26, Ian Bennett. Great night tonight. 4 goals, 2 assists. Thanks, Ian. All right, back up to Tom and Art as we wrap up our broadcast. And don't forget to join us next Saturday as your Milwaukee Wave take on the St. Louis Ambush Wizards and Muggles night. We're going all Harry Potter on you. Get your tickets at MilwaukeeWave.com.
All right, there you see the promo for our last game. By the way, Ian's final goal was our first final insurance goal of the game. So he gets the insurance goal there at the end. And Art, another exciting game. Wave keeps it going. They'll go to St. Louis Friday. We'll be back here Saturday for this game against the Tacoma Stars.
I like what Ian said there at the end. The last thing he said was, if we stay humble and we stay focused, then they're going to be a very tough team to beat. I think that's going to be a big key for that team. Stay humble, stay focused.
Good point. Ian Bennett, a true superstar. Milwaukee wins 11-7 over the Kansas City Comets. And so, for our entire production crew here at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena, and for the Wave Hall of Famer, Art Kramer, Tom Wynn wishing you a good one. We'll see you next time on Wave Soccer.
Oh.